Hey, what's up guys, I'm Rob Riches, and on today's video I'll be showing you a full daily breakdown of my meal prep, having a look at each meal, all of the calories, the proteins, the carbs and fats. So first, let's have a look at how I would establish how many calories I need throughout the day, and this is really simple. I start with my body weight, which is about 180 pounds, and I multiply that within a range of 11 to 22 calories. This is a really good range if I'm looking to slim down, drop a little bit of body fat, lower my body weight. I might go 11, 12 calories per pound of body weight, so I'd multiply that by 180. And the other end of that spectrum is if I'm looking to put on a little bit more size, allow a slight surplus in my calorie intake, and for that I might aim for 20, 22 calories per pound of body weight. But for me, it's all about maintenance at the moment, so it's smack bang in the middle, about 15 calories per pound, so that's 2,700 calories. And that's what we have laid out on the table here. 2,700 calories broken down into 6 meals that I eat typically every 3 hours. But what about the macros, the proteins, the carbohydrates, the fats? How much of those do I include and make up that 2,700 daily calorie intake? Well, again, this will change depending on my goal. If I'm looking to drop some body fat, it might be a little bit higher protein, low carbs and moderate to high fats. If I'm looking to put on some muscle, I want more carbohydrates, so I might drop that protein a bit, have higher carbohydrates and moderate to low fats. But again, maintenance, I'm gonna keep things pretty balanced. So with this, I found the best macro split for me is 40% protein, so about 270 grams, that's 45 grams of protein per meal. Carbohydrates, 30% there, so that dropped down to 200 grams a day. It's not low, just a moderate amount. And fats, I'm also gonna keep at 30% of my daily calorie intake, which gives me 90 grams of fat a day. Let's take a look at meal number 1, breakfast, which for me is my favorite meal of the day. Protein is 45 grams, coming from mainly egg whites and some whey in the oats. The reason I don't just get all of my protein, 45 grams from eggs, is first of all, that's a lot of eggs and I don't want this huge plate of eggs. And also, I have to use the yolk to make up much of that extra protein, which bumps up my fat. And I'll get to the fat in a second. So 6 egg whites here and also 1 scoop of vanilla whey mixed into my oats once they're cooked. Carbohydrates, I have a little bit more in the morning and post-workout. So I'm getting about 50 grams of carbohydrates here, mostly from my oats. I choose gluten-free and some simple sugars from the banana. And then fats. Like I said, a little bit higher fats during maintenance. 40, 30, 30 is that split. And if you know me, I'm a huge peanut butter fan. So I've got a tablespoon and a half, and I've been using this Naturally More extra protein peanut butter spread. I get 10 grams of protein per serving in this. It's got pea protein, it's got sprouted brown rice, so all naturally gluten-free, non-GMO. That gives me the fats I need, and with that, we can then move on to meal number 2. And for my protein, that 45 grams, turkey patties. This is minced 97% extra lean turkey that I just add a little bit of salt and pepper, some herbs and spices, mix it up and just pan fry it using a little bit of coconut oil. These are sweet potatoes or yams, depending where you are. I actually cube these and boil them in water so that they're just a little bit soft when you squeeze them. These are my carbohydrates, about 27 grams here, so it drops down from that initial 50 grams that I have for breakfast. And then vegetables on the side. I've got some baked cauliflower and some baked eggplant or aubergine, depending where you are. And fats, as much as I'd love just to eat peanut butter throughout the day, actually use a tablespoon and a half of flaxseed oil. All of which I'm getting those essential healthy fats. All right, let's fast forward 3 hours, and this is a meal that I'd have around about 1 o'clock, so about lunchtime. It's the same protein, carbohydrates, and fats as the first of my day meal. So I break these down into breakfast, my day meals, meal 1, 2, 3, post-workout, and then my nighttime. So we've got 3 day meals here. This is day meal number 2. For that same amount of protein, 45 grams, I'm using lean steak. Sliced this up, pan-fried it as well, cut out all of the excess fat, so it's a great quality, high source of protein. Carbohydrates now, that 27 grams I'm getting from rice. And yeah, I am using white rice. I'm not too worried about brown rice, white rice. I work out pretty much every day. My body can handle this, and it sure as heck isn't going to turn to body fat with that 2,700 calories. So if you want white rice instead of brown rice, go ahead, do it. Vegetables, again, you can see I'm using the same vegetables. It's just easy when I'm preparing the night before. We've got the baked eggplant there, and all I do to season that is a bit of salt and pepper again, some cayenne pepper and some herbs. Put it in the oven, 350 for about 20 minutes. Really easy when I'm preparing all of this food the night before, with the exception of breakfast. Moving on to about 4 o'clock now, it's the third of my day meal. So once again, 45 grams of protein, about 27 grams of carbs, and 15 grams of fat. And for this, I've mixed things up a little bit. I brought that peanut butter back in. This is probably a tie for my favorite meal of the day. I'd have this perhaps every other day. You'll be amazed at how this meal here has the same macronutrients as these other 2 day meals. And what it consists of are 2 rice cakes, each one with a full tablespoon of this naturally more extra protein peanut butter, topped with sliced banana. If you haven't tried this yet, I urge you to give it a go. It is incredible. Get some rice cakes from your local store, pick up a bottle of this naturally more extra protein peanut butter spread. Find out more on the text description below. Spread it all over that rice cake, top it with some banana, cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg. It's incredible. And for the protein, there's a scoop and a half of some vanilla whey protein here. That's my 45 grams. All of my carbohydrates and fats come from these 2 rice cakes, and protein on top with the banana. And this is ideal for that pre-workout training, about an hour before I go and hit the weights. It's got a nice mixture of the lower and the higher glycemic carbohydrates, got a healthy amount of fats, it's got the simple sugars from the banana as well, and a great boost of protein from my whey powder and that naturally more protein. Right, so immediately after I finish my weights workout, I want fast-acting protein and carbohydrates. So for that, whey protein, again, just 1 scoop here. This is waxy maize starch. You can use a bunch of other fast-acting carbohydrates. Sometimes I'll use white rice, but this just keeps it simple. I can have this immediately as I'm leaving the gym, and then 30 minutes later, as soon as I get back home, to the second part of that post-workout meal, meal number 5, which is almost identical to these other day meals that I have throughout the day, except I split much of that protein, the carbohydrates, and fat with that fast-acting protein shake that I have after the gym, and then more of a solid meal. This helps with digestion, nutrient uptake, and I'm not just chugging 300-400 calories from a shake, getting all of my protein. So I like to split it, protein shake and a smaller meal. So with this, I have the turkey patties, the white rice for the carbohydrates, and again, some vegetables, eggplant, cauliflower, and a tablespoon and a half of flaxseed oil. Now for many, that might be enough food. Final meal of the day, maybe about 7:30, but for me, there's one other meal. It's probably my second most favorite meal of the day after breakfast and the peanut butter and rice cakes. For this, I call nighttime dessert. And what it consists of is really just 3 ingredients: cottage cheese, vanilla casein, protein powder, and a tablespoon and a half of, you guessed it, this naturally more extra protein peanut butter spread. The reason I have this is it's a slow releasing protein that I have throughout the night. So I'll have this, which is still 45 grams of protein. It's about 8 grams of carbs and 15 grams of fat. So it's not too high in calories, very low in sugar, and it's that slow releasing protein that I want to give my body throughout the night, especially if I'm doing fasted cardio in the morning. Think about this. If your last solid meal is 8 o'clock at night and you don't have breakfast till 7 or 8 the next day, that's 11-12 hours. That's half the day that your body's going without food. Now, I'm not saying that you should eat a big meal at night. After all, this is only about 300 calories, mostly healthy fats and high quality slow releasing protein. Put it all into a blender, or just mix it in a bowl with a fork. Cottage cheese, casein powder, a little bit of cinnamon in there as well, maybe some stevia to add a little bit of sweetness. And I'd eat this about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, finally going to sleep about 11 p.m., getting at least 6.5, 7 hours of sleep. There you have it. That's my full spread of 2,700 calories made up of 40% protein, 30% carbohydrates, and 30% of fat. And you can find out more about this naturally more extra protein peanut butter spread in the text description below. Now, the funny thing is, people often ask me what my favorite thing to eat with peanut butter is, and in all honesty, it's just a spoon. Big fat tablespoon, scoop it in there, 2 tablespoons, 170 calories. It's got 10 grams of protein in there. Mix in a little bit of vanilla protein, and bingo, you have a great little snack to have between these meals. And that wraps up the end of today's nutrition video. Please do like and leave a comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I have new videos coming out every week in the gym, out on location, and of course here in the kitchen. See you then. Bye.